Part 2. What is patron saints? Patron saints are chosen as special protectors or guardians overseas of life. These areas can include occupations, illnesses, churches, countries, causes, anything that is important to us. The earliest record shows that people and churches were named after apostles and martyrs as early as the 4th century. Recently, the popes have named patron saints but patrons can be chosen by other individuals or groups as well. Patron saints are often chosen today because an interest, talent, or event in their lives overlaps with their special area. For example, Francis of Assisi loved nature and so he is patron of ecologists. Francis de Sales was the writer and so he is the patron of journalists and writers. Clare of Assisi was named patron of television because one Christmas when she was too ill to leave her bed, she saw and heard Christmas Mass. Even though it was taking place miles away, angels can be named as patron saints. A patron saint can help us when we follow the example of the saint's life and we ask for the saint's intercessory prayers to God. Is there a feast day for every day of the year? Well, yes and no. The official Roman calendar at feast days for celebration by the Universal Church, or in the other words, all over the world, does not have saints' feast day every day. The Church chooses saints to be celebrated worldwide very carefully. They must have strong message for the Church as whole. That doesn't mean that the other saints are somehow less holy, although some of the saints that have been dropped were legendary and there is little evidence they existed. Religious orders, countries, localities, and individuals are free to celebrate the feast days of saints not listed on the universal calendar, but which have some importance to them. And there are indeed feast days of saints every day of the year. As a matter of fact, there are at least 3 saints for almost every day. Butler's Lives of the Saints has the most complete listings of saints' feast days I have found, and though I advise care in choosing the edition. Recent changes have been made to calendar that would affect feast days. Whatever happened to Saint Christopher? Is he still saint? Before 1969 reform of the Roman calendar, Christopher was listed as martyr who died under Decius. Nothing else is known about him. There are several legends about him, including the one in which he was crossing the river when a child asked to be carried across. When Christopher put the child on his shoulders, he found the child was unbelievably heavy. The child, according to the legend, was Christ, carrying the weight of the whole world. This was what made Christopher patron of Saint of Travelers. His former feast day is July. Before the formal canonization process began in the 15th century, many saints were proclaimed popular approval. This was much faster process, but unfortunately, many of the saints so named were based on legends, pagan mythology, or even other religion. For example, the story of the Buddha traveled west to Europe and he has converted into Catholic saint. In 1969, the Church took a long look at the saints on its calendar to see if there was historical evidence that the saint existed and lived a life of holiness. In taking that long look, the Church discovered that there was little proof that many saints, including some of them, many popular ones, ever lived. Christopher was one of the names that was determined to have basis mostly legend. Therefore, Christopher were dropped from the universal calendar. Some saints were considered so legendary that their cult was completely repressed, including Saint Ursula. Christopher's cult was not suppressed, but it's confirmed the local calendars or so forth. Salamat po, salamat po. Salamat Ama sa ngalan ng Ama, Anak, Espiritu Santo. Amen. Salamat Ama sa sharing ko na ito. Sana mapaliwanagan ang lahat ng nalalabuan at mabalik ko sa iyo ang mga kapatid kong naliligaw. Salamat po Ama, sa ngalan ng Ama, Anak, Espiritu Santo. Amen. Fight the good fight in faith. Magpakatatag ka kapatid sa pananampalataya mo. Huwag kang padadala sa mga bulong ng demonyo. Huwag pabayaan ang mga nakakabatang kapatid. Pangalagaan at pakaingatan sila. Lagi sana nating tutulungan ng mga kapatid na alam natin yung nanghihina sa pananampalataya at kailangan ng ating pagtulong at ating sanang pakinggan ang lahat ng daing nila na padama natin na nandun tayo para sa kanila, na lagi tayong nasa tabi lang pag kailangan nila ang ating tulong. Sana huwag tayong magpabaya. Salamat mga kapatid. Sumayin niyo ang kapayapaan at pag-ibig ng Diyos.